Right.
There we go.
Hello. What's
Well, welcome.
hold up. Let me see something. Okay, there we go.
Welcome to Corey and Kelly Unleashed.
Hello. I'm
Yeah.
Corey.
And I am Kelly.
Yeah, we are unleashed.
We are very much
I
so.
love saying that.
It's been a little while since we've recorded. Um, I don't know, we were doing so well for so long, and I think that just life and me moving, you moving, just lots of things. But I really would love to do this more often. I know that it's good for me. Imagine it's good for you. It may be good for someone else out there.
One of the best parts of my life.
Yeah.
My therapy with my sister.
Yeah. I don't know. Now,
Life is wonderful.
it really is. I don't know how the sound is going to be because we don't have speakers. We don't have like microphones and things. And so I don't
Hmm.
know how yours is going to be. I don't know how mine is going to be. So
It'll
we're
be perfect.
we're learning. We're in the process.
It'll be perfect just how it is, and it'll progress just as we are.
So we are not professionals,
Mhm.
obviously.
We're getting there.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it has just, it feels like yesterday that we recorded, but it's been a while.
Yeah. It's been
I
over a
mean,
month. Yeah.
but I feel how long it's been. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Like we were talking about there's just been a disconnect, you know,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's it with people in our lives. If we don't take the effort to connect, then our connection gets weak, you know.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
still do. I mean, I think it's important with somebody that you love and somebody you care for that you communicate regularly. There's so many families and people that love each other that just in today's world we get so wrapped up in our technology and everything. And it's like you don't have that connection, that real
Yeah.
connection.
I'm not very, I have not, there's a pattern within me that has not been great at connecting with people, like staying connected with people, like as much as I feel like people need from me. Like I've many times in my life, I've just had even our own mom, has said, "Why don't you ever call?" And just I've had friends tell me that I don't, I'm not like there all the time, like I don't know. And I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's my own thing where I'm really good being isolated and on my own, and it's not healthy. Like I
No,
know that that's not a healthy thing.
good that you're aware of that.
Yeah. Because
So
I
it's
do.
something you can work on.
Right. Right. And
Mhm.
I do, and I am because I am very much aware, and I want to be a good friend to people, and I feel like I am.
Oh,
Um,
you're a great friend.
I've been a very, and I have those codependent patterns, and so that is the type of friend that I have been in the past, and so I think I've just been in a season of changing the way that I am in communication with people and in relation with people, because I used to would just, it was just too codependent and sick.
Yeah, and it's important as we learn to live in the now that we don't forget about the now that isn't right in front of us. The people that we love, if we're living in the now, well, then we are engrossed and we're just fully in what we're doing. Well, then now can go on for a quite amount of time. And wait, so that could be as you become living with intention and living in the moment, that I could see how that could become, it's something I want to make sure I don't forget is that there's people that I want to reach out to that aren't in my now,
Mhm.
but I want to keep them in it, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I can get very just wrapped up in today. Like I'm just in
Mhm.
today,
Yeah.
whatever's happening. But that is something that I do love about the spirit is that the spirit, if we're open to it, the spirit will put in our minds people, and I love when that happens, because when that happens, I reach out. Like I'll immediately like send a text, and it's usually text because I don't really call people, but there is that. So
And
yeah,
it is powerful.
it
I've
is.
had that in my life, my whole life. Like even when I wasn't completely here mentally, I would have people just pop into my mind, and it's amazing how so many people have experienced, if not everybody, calling somebody and they say, "Oh, I was just thinking about you," or shooting
Mm-hmm.
out a text and I was just about to text you. And it's because there is a connection, literally, and years can go by with some people, literally, and it's like I'll call them or text them, and they'll be like, "I was just thinking about you," or "I just had a dream about you," and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's because something in the universe wants to keep us connected
Mm-hmm.
to certain people. Some people come and go,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the real,
Yeah.
it's the people that are supposed to be in our lives that the universe kind of doesn't allow us. Unless you really fight against it, the universe
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep us connected.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and disconnected too. I mean, I think
Yes.
that as we grow, as we change, as we evolve, as we whatever words we want to use, that and I kind of think of it too, like we talk about vibrating and vibrating higher and just consciousness and just all those types of things. I think that a lot of times we attract that we attract the same types of people to us, and sometimes the people who are not, they just fall away. I mean, because there's
Disappear.
just not a connection anymore.
That is so awesome. Yeah. When I was in active addiction and that's what my life was, everywhere I went, I saw that. I saw drug deals going on, I
Oh yeah.
saw stuff going on around me. And now I see people like getting together and talking. Whereas before, if I saw people getting together and talking, I was seeing a drug exchange.
Right.
I saw it everywhere. And now I don't see it anywhere. And I run into people that are healthy people. And the universe is just kind of keeping me connected to you attracts like. It is just, you always hear that. And it's like, you want to be careful about who your friends are. But it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm working to become healthier, it's like I'm searching for the tools. I'm searching for the information, I think, to help me to stay healthier. What do I need to put in my body? What do I need to, and all that kind of stuff. And we know. But I'm finding the other people who are also looking for those same things. And so we're attracting just people who are more health conscious,
Yeah.
and who want to make good, healthy choices, who aren't wanting to make those heavier choices. And it really is helpful, like following people and seeing people on social media, because I do a lot of social media stuff. And so whenever I'm on there, I like to follow the people who or see the things on my feed of people doing those same kinds of things, you
Mhm.
know and so because that's very helpful to keep me up.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yep. It's awesome. I mean, it's amazing how, we started this about addiction and trauma and recovery. And, we've talked about this before, how we've kind of evolved and moved away from that. But something that I've been seeing, like in recovery, and it hasn't been perfect. We all know that if
No.
anybody's watched us,
Yeah.
but I haven't gotten stuck in that negative heaviness. And I haven't allowed the drama that all the immediately attacks me if I'm not perfect to suck me in and keep me going in that direction. But what I've seen is that as I continue to evolve, you know, you didn't want to use the get better, progress, whatever the word, but as I've been going through this, it felt like I would never move forward.
Mhm.
That I was going to do this, but I was just stuck in this place that I was always going to be in. And just in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, all of a sudden I have my own house. I have my own place that I never thought I'd get here. 3 years ago, I was homeless, literally
Yeah.
looking to what am I going to do with my life? And I found a room with a couple dudes paying, you know, and it was so heavy is the word because I don't want to say I was depressed,
Mm-hmm.
even though it might have been what I would call situational depression.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a depressed situation, but my life is just so happier, you know? And I never thought it's like as an addict, if you are an addict that's working on recovery, just give it time. We want to force it because as addicts, we like that instant gratification. We like that instant change. That's what it's all about. Because I can change myself instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
with recovery, it's so worth it because the change, it might feel like it takes forever, but this is all I know now. And it's only been a couple weeks. This is all
Right.
I know.
Right. Yeah. I love that because I mean, you said so many things that I love. You know, just being in recovery, it's like I feel like we're just in recovery of just a life of experience, and we're recovering who we truly are. And it takes time. It's taken us 50 years to get to this point, you know, and so it's going to take us time to even get further along. And all of the behaviors that we have been in through all of our life, I mean, it still happens. Like I still catch myself falling back into old patterns and old ways. And I'm like, and I'll catch myself and I'm like, what am I doing? Why? Like, how did that even happen? And it sucks me in fast, like because I mean it does. But I'm so aware, I catch it so fast. And like you, I don't have that internal voice that's condemning me and putting me down and making me feel bad and sucking me down into the darkness and sucking me further and further into more addiction. Instead, I'm like, okay, that was a thing. All right.
Oops.
You know, okay, well, I have all these coping tools now. I have all these things that I have learned that help me to be healthy, that help me to be well, that I know. And so it's like, okay, let me just today's a new day. I am so good. That was yesterday. I don't even have to bring yesterday into today. I
Doesn't
wake
even
up,
exist.
I wake up in the morning and for my birthday, like my birthday, I spent like all day with Jesus. I'm serious. And I was like, I was reborn that day where I was like, this is a new life. I can wake up every single day and breathe in the spirit and be in today in who I truly am, not anything in my past. It pops up, things happen. I'll have some thoughts that remind me of past things, but I'm not her anymore. I
Mm.
am I'm who I am today. And I love that. I love knowing who I am and that as these little things pop up through my day, I'm just like I don't even have to like I could breathe in the spirit. I am in the spirit.
I love it.
And we can be in the spirit every single day whenever we wake up. I breathe in deeply, like 3 deep breaths, and I just imagine the spirit filling my body and I just surrender my day. And I just remember who I am, that I am just today. I'm not my past. I'm not my story. I don't have to bring it into today. And I can share from this place. I don't have to share from the story and the victim and the all the stuff.
Mhm.
Like I
So
can share
heavy.
now from my wholeness because we are
Yeah.
whole, you know.
Yeah. I don't have to share that fractured person.
Hmm.
I don't have to hold on to them.
No.
That's
I learned so much. Like I've been going through my journals and stuff, and it's like all
me
the
too.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I got
have.
like
Keep going.
three
Sorry.
I got like 3 boxes full of journals from since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I look back through stuff and I'm like, oh, I just, the things that I've written, I was so stressed. I was overwhelmed. I was just all these things. And I'm just like, man, if only I knew then what I know today, but that's not the way it works. But I'm just so grateful to know today what I know.
Yeah.
And there's so much more for me to know. That's the beautiful thing about it is that like I can I can see my unfolding that like I still have things. We just all do. But I don't because they're unattached. They're unattaching. I've been unleashed
Yeah.
from it. And it's just they're like echoes. They're just echoes that come in and want to grab onto me, but like mm-mm.
Yeah. You're not polarized in that way to where those magnets can stick to you anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have that charge that brings them in. I was talking just about, how we're whole. I was talking with my kids. So my older two came over to my house. I love being able to say my home. I mean, this is mine. I haven't been able to say my home in so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. But my older two came over and I love that they just walked in. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't knock, and I just love that. It's their home.
Mm-hmm.
And they left, and I was talking with William and Jane, and I was like, that was just so perfect having all four of y'all here. But you know what's perfect? Is that it's perfect right now with just the three of us here. And I said, when y'all leave, it's going to be perfect however it is. So when I'm with one of y'all, it's perfect. When I'm with both of y'all, it's perfect. When I'm with all of y'all, it's perfect. And they're both like, just kind of absorbing that. Like,
Yeah.
it's so free
Yeah.
to not have to force life, to not feel like I have to make it something that it isn't right now.
Mm. Yeah. That's so good.
It's the seasons, you can't force the fall to come in the middle of the spring.
Right. As much as we want to control it, our control makes things just crazy chaotic and just like our force, it just
Our perception or our
Mhm.
deceiving thought that we have control.
Right. You're right,
Yeah,
because we don't.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's very draining to live in
Hmm.
the delusion of control.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and I think that's what makes it easier for me now to forgive myself. And not only forgive myself, but just say, maybe forgiving myself isn't even right, but just accepting myself, and saying that I did that. That's not who I am. And it's just so free to know that I can change right now. I I am who I am right now.
Hmm.
I'm not who I was yesterday.
Hmm. I think too about, who I've been in the past that we really until you become aware and really awaken to truly like I don't even know how the words to say. Like we just live very unconscious. We live just being born. I mean, I say this many times. We just are born into this world, into the families, into the society, into religion, into everything. We're just placed in it and we just start and we just go. And that is, we're on this rut of who we've been told to be and everything. And until we like wake up and we're like, wait, what is going on? Like it it's almost as though all those choices, yeah, we are responsible for them. Yes, we are accountable for them. We make choices knowing right and wrong. And at the same time, we're living in such a such a different type of mindset and way that we really do a lot of things unconsciously. We do
Hmm.
it from a lot of just pain and suffering and the guilt and the shame. And we're running on programs that are so deep within us that we don't even know. And so
Yeah.
it's almost like we don't even have, we're not even really making true choices for ourselves. I mean, we are, because we know when we around 8 or 9,
Well,
we know good and bad, but you have thought
there
about that.
comes a point where you have to accept responsibility and stop being the victim in the past and the
Yes,
story.
right.
And, I was talking with my oldest daughter, and when they were here the other night, and I started kind of making justifications for a grown man's actions and behaviors and for things that he does. And I was like, well,
Mm,
and she said, no, that person is a grown adult. And just because something happened in their childhood does not give them a right to be a certain way that is not okay. And
right.
I was just like, you're right.
It's
I was
true.
just trying to I was trying to make an excuse for somebody's just destructive behavior when this person is in their latter part of life.
And well, and see, but that is the thing about it, is like you expect so much from this person because they're an adult, they should know better. But that's the thing. People sometimes people do not know better
They're still
because
kids.
they're what?
They're still kids.
Right. And they're being run by these programs that are within them that they're not even aware of. And it's becoming aware of the programs. It's becoming aware of the thoughts. It's being your spirit self and seeing the behaviors, seeing the patterns, seeing the programs, seeing all the recordings of the parents and the grandparents and the great great great, and just being able to separate us ourselves, who we are, who we came into this world as a spirit being, and then all this stuff, all these magnets got piled up on us that are not ours. And it's like, and people just don't know that. People are full of magnets, full of triggers, full of traumas, totally unaware, don't even think that there's anything wrong with them, that it's everybody else's fault that they have triggers. It's like, and that is what I'm saying, is like, that is an unconscious way to live. And it's like, so whenever we have people like that in our lives, all we could do is just have compassion, have love, have grace, have mercy, recognize that they are acting from their 5-year-old little self or their 8-year-old little self who was traumatized, and they don't know any better, they don't know any different.
Yeah.
And until they hear or see or feel, until they feel love coming from people who are not judging them or putting them down or going back at them in anger, until we break those cycles and those dances that we have with people, they're just going to continue. And I think that's where, as we grow, as we progress, as we become aware of these things, and we are still in relation with people, that's where the changes come. Because if we're not combative and if we're not doing that same dance with the people in our lives, the dance ends. They could be dancing by themselves and we'll just be like loving on them. And it's like, they'll
Find
be like,
somebody to dance in rhythm with. I'll keep dancing, but I want to dance in rhythm.
right.
You know?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's like we've talked about too, is like living in a family where there's always been addiction and major codependency. When the addict changes, it changes the whole family. It changes everything. It can
Yeah.
change everything,
Well,
unless the codependent people are still in their codependent behaviors and patterns and ways of seeing and believing and thinking and judging and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
until, you know, but what do you do about, I mean,
there's
everyone's on
nothing.
their own time.
Yeah. They've got to, everybody's does themselves.
Yeah.
You got to do you. And I mean, and we've talked about this. It's like, I cannot, I don't want to allow myself to get caught up in that dance. And it's so easy to, like, I can allow that dance to get back in my life. And it's amazing to, it's such a blessing to be able to be aware of it and to see that if I don't engage in it and I don't do what I've always done, that the other people stop dancing to that old tune a lot quicker. And they
Yeah.
see that, okay, that was just, I don't know what they see, but I do know that they behave differently, that there is a shorter period of dysfunction, you know? If
Hmm.
Corey's acting tired, if Corey's acting wired, if Corey's acting depressed, if Corey's acting happy, those are all signs that Corey's not right,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But I'm good, I'm fine, and I'm fine that everybody's in their own place. And
Hmm.
I don't want to allow somebody that is struggling with something to affect me because then I'm becoming the codependent,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
Because the addict is the drug to the codependent.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. That that is my biggest addiction is codependency. It really is. And it is it can be very challenging. It's a very
yeah,
challenging one.
yeah,
Being addicted to people. I mean, it's one that I daily have to surrender because people, I mean, over the past few weeks, I've been in it and I see it and I recognize it and I constantly have to give people over to God and just stop trying to tell people what to do. And I catch myself, I'll catch myself with my son, like wanting to say something, or I will say something. And I'll say, I am so sorry. That is not my place. You do you. You're a grown person. Like, I do not know what is best for another person. I just don't.
yeah. That's that is a very tough drug to overcome.
It is.
Codependency. Your drug of choice is jumping in your face all the time,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, and my phone just said I have 20% charge. So,
No.
anyway, that's what just happened if there was some kind of glitch. But your that I can just imagine like if my drug jumped in front of me and there was a line put in front of me all day, every day, you know, that would be
Yeah,
tough. That
it
would be
is.
tough.
Hmm.
It'd be tough not to relapse. And as a
Hmm.
codependent, getting through days without relapsing has to be an amazing victory.
Yeah. Because I'm also a caretaker, like so
Yeah.
so it
Uh,
is. I have a hard time knowing that line because sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not caretaking enough or I'm not doing enough, but I'm like, but how much is too, it's a major battle within my mind. So yeah, but God, it really, he shows me, he helps me. Um, just like any other addiction. I mean, only he can help us with it,
yeah.
what to do.
Yeah. And he does if we seek him.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
he's never let me down. I've let myself down in my mind many times, but you know, the great thing about the 12 step program is that it brings so many people to spirituality.
Hmm.
It brings so many people to a higher power that I call God. And it just it's it's so obvious that it takes believing in something greater than me to become greater than I am. Not greater, but to break free of all that stuff that
Hmm.
we want to use as excuses and the victimhood. um it's so easy if a person wants to hold on to old behaviors,
Hmm.
but I love that I don't have to anymore.
Hmm.
And the way I just never thought that some of my relationships would be healed, that my life would be normal. And I'm so blessed. And look at you, you've broken free and you've moved to a new place and started a new life. I mean, that is considered a traumatic event. Like in therapy, a change of location, moving is traumatic.
Yeah.
And so, it's to learn,
Don't even know.
huh?
You don't even know. But yeah.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is. And so it's healing again from a new trauma and learning to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
you're right where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And it's so funny because earlier today my son called and he's like, "Have you watched the news? Have you seen the news? Did you see that there's a storm coming or the Weather Channel?" I'm like, "No, like what's going on?"
Me
And
neither.
there's like a storm in the Gulf and it's kind of heading towards us and
Oh,
it could flood in the area, because I'm down by the Gulf, like I'm low. And so I kind of it kind of started making me feel a little anxious. Like, okay, well, I just moved here. I still got boxes like having it unpacked, and I started to feel some anxiousness swell up in me. Like, okay, what do I do? How what? And I was like, I just have nothing to be anxious about. Like God knows. I mean, I'm good. If I have to go up on the third floor, or if I have to whatever, like I'm so good. I I know within my soul that God has led me to where I am today. And if I lose everything, I get to start over with nothing. And that's okay. So many people do it over and over and over because my life and my faith and my everything is not about all the stuff around me. Like what can I do for God? And I can do so much for God without any of this. And sometimes it's like it's almost a blessing, I think sometimes. I mean, I say that because it's never happened to me, but I have seen in people's lives, it can sometimes be a blessing to lose everything that they've had because they do have to start over. And it's all just stuff. I mean, whenever we die, there's picture mom and Kanine up there. Whenever we die, we leave everything here. It's like I have things that I love. I have things that I would miss and whatever, but there's nothing to be anxious about because God has given me all of it. He has given me so much, and He can give me even more or give me less. And I am so good. I'm so good. So I don't need to be anxious. I don't need to be anxious about anything.
yeah.
I mean, there's just weather happens. I mean, it's happened for since the world has been here. And it's like He will help us through whatever comes our way. and and I love that. I love knowing that, and I love knowing that we have community, we have people who can help, and we're not in all of this all by ourselves. So I felt it. I was like, ooh, I'm feeling it in my chest. I'm feeling this like having a hard time breathing. I was like, what's going on? And I was like, and it was like an anxiousness of feeling like I need to do something. I need to take control. I need to do something. And
Control that storm.
yes, and it's like, no, like God, it's fine. God has got me. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
I
good.
so I really wanted to move like for a while now, and there was a place right by my home where my children's other home is, and it was open for like 6 months. And I said, okay, if it's open on certain date, I'm gonna move in there. Place stayed open, stayed open, stayed open. And like a month ago, Dad was like, Corey, go get it. You got to get it. And get it now. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it at so and so time. He's like, but it could fill up before then. I was like, well, if it does, then that's not where God wants me to be. And he said, oh, yeah, you're right. And
Yeah.
so the time arrived where I actually went there and it was full. Somebody had moved in. And I'm just like, okay, perfect. And just
Right.
days later, I get a picture from Carrie, my sister, and it's this perfect place at the perfect price with everything in the perfect location. And it's like, it didn't exist. I had my eye focused on something that wasn't for me.
Uh-huh.
And the minute that I was ready to move there, it was no longer available, but something else popped up that it's just the more we worry about something, it's like it's not for me.
Exactly.
So I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, and it's just being aware and being able to see that God put me here, and my kids love it. And William's getting into fishing, and there's a fishing place right down the road, and there's a dock right down the road, and I have so much around me that, and they're just so excited. They're like, "This is the perfect place," and it's a humble little beautiful red home, I call it,
Yeah.
and it's
I
my
love
place.
it.
So
I love it.
yeah. The more we try and guide our lives, the more out of control that we are.
Hmm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I catch myself. I mean, last week, well, for the past little while, like I was just so like I would pick up as soon as I would wake up, I would grab my phone because that's how I would see my time. You know, I always want to see what time it is. So I'd grab my phone, look to see what time it is. And then I'd see my notification, you know, if someone has texted in the middle of the night. And I'm like, well, let me see what's going on here, you know. And so it's like it, and then all day long, without purpose, without like just being attached to it, you know, going to it to see what's happening within it, you know, I'm getting from it. I was like, this is too much. Like, so I felt like I needed to fast from it. And so I did for like a day or two. And I just recognized just wanting to go back to it over and over and over. And then I was like, you know, I need to use it more purposefully and use it to put out and not so much to be receiving in. Because, you know, we've talked about this many times. Like we have been lifetime learners of psychology, of self-help, of just like we just love to learn and input. And it's like it gets to a point where we just got to live it. We just got to live what we know,
Yes.
be in life and live it and share it. You
Yeah.
know, not consume so much anymore because it's like, wow. I mean, I'm looking through all my journals and I'm like, I want to do this, I want to be this, I want to do, you know, just all these different things. And I'm like, I'm finally like I am doing these things that I have always in my life wanted to do. I've always wanted to exercise because I never did in my life, but that was always high on my list. You know, it's like all these different things. I want to eat well. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm like, I am living this. I feel like I've arrived at a place where like I'm living these goals that I have always had for myself, and yet I'm still searching and seeking and trying to find something that's going to fill me. And it's like I think what's going to fill me is just sharing what I've already like sharing. You know, it's like stop consuming so much, and which I love knowledge. I love learning. I will never stop that because I'm constantly seeking growth because we will grow for I think eternities. But it's like it just comes to a point where like instead of grabbing my phone to input, I need to grab my phone to output and to share, you know,
Yeah.
to help other people who are struggling, who are still in addiction, who are still because I mean this world is crazy, who are still like full of anxiety and full of just the addictions and all the things that we have experienced in our lives. It's like we're now in a place where we can help people, you know, in a different
Apply
way.
what we've known for
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah.
You are right. I mean, I'd read a book and share it with you. You'd read a book and share it with me. And it's like we've been in school for 25 years with all this self help and
I know.
psychology and energy and all that stuff. And it's just knowledge that we weren't put into practice.
Hmm. And I'm
That
not
is great.
perfect. I'm not perfect by any
Are
means,
we
you know.
supposed to be?
And no. And I think that that's a huge thing is that I've had this thing within my brain that like it's got to look a certain way. It's got to be a certain way. If I'm eating healthy, I cannot have a hamburger. I cannot have a taco. I cannot have this, you know? And it's like, so we get really strict with ourselves. And then when we
Healthy.
do eat these things, we judge ourselves, and it's like, no, we can
No.
be healthy. We can make consistently healthy choices to be and live healthy, and we can enjoy the things that bring joy and that taste good, that are social. But if we're not, it's not being addicted to those things. Like,
Yeah.
I was addicted to sugar there for this past month, and like I was going to the grocery store getting little tubs of ice cream like every other day. That is
Yeah,
not
you
healthy,
said that. It's
you
funny.
know. But that
Yeah.
was a little thing. That was a comfort thing. Like, I was trying to soothe myself, and I totally see it, understand it, recognize it.
Yeah.
And it was not healthy. But ice cream is not bad,
No.
and it's like we can get into extreme thinking. I have been in very extreme thinking. And I'm just realizing it's like this, we're mortal. We get to enjoy a piece of pizza. We get
Yeah.
to enjoy ice cream. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean we have to eat it all the time. If we want to be healthy, we can't.
Nope.
That's the thing about it. And
I
I
don't need
love
a couple tubs of ice cream in my freezer. I can go
exactly,
get ice cream occasionally.
exactly. But
My
I
phone, when
love
my phone dies, our podcast will end.
all right.
You
I
go.
love being healthy though. I'm not perfect at it, but I love being healthy. And I know the tools today to help me to consistently feel well. And so if I feel off, if I don't feel well, it's because of the choices that I'm making. And I know that, you
Yeah.
know. And so I'm like, well, I can make different choices today.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Every day.
know that there's certain things I should not have in my house.
Right.
Mm. And
Mm-hmm.
there's some things that I can have in my house that just my kids love them. They're full of sugar, but I just don't like them. But
Mm-hmm.
there's some things I brought in my house for my kids that I do love, and they don't belong in my house.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
learned that. I told my kids, we will not have that in the house anymore. But why? I like them. I said, because I like them too.
Yeah, exactly. That's a treat when we, but and it's
Yeah.
so funny because the treat word too. I'm like, is it a treat? Are we treating our bodies really well whenever we eat that? That's not a treat. An
No.
orange is a treat. No,
Yep. Get an apple.
it's just a shift in our thought processes.
Yeah. I love talking to you.
I love
I
talking
love,
with you too.
let's make a plan to do this within 2 weeks.
All right.
We've been through a lot. You've moved, I've moved, we've made progress, but
Mhm.
let's share it with each other and
Yeah.
stay connected.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
think we still do good at that, but you know, being connected to the people that we love, if we're not reaching out to them, then how do they know?
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's something that I prioritize in my life, and I always have. You know,
Mhm. That's awesome.
and I've always found the people I love are important to love.
Hmm.
So,
And I know that there are people who do watch us and who do enjoy, being here with us, learning with us, and who love us, and we love them. And I know that this is a way for us to connect and to be in one another's lives, and
and
so
that's why we mean it when we say we love y'all. If you watch us,
I
we really
know,
do love y'all.
I know,
And
totally.
if
We do
y'all
it
have
for y'all.
Kelly's number and you want to text me, get it from her. I'd love to hear from you. Same goes for me. I mean, that's I appreciate the fact that we get 20 views.
I know. Uh-huh. I
That's
know.
20 people that actually care and want to be a part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we do it in the world today. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
no matter where in the world you move or I move, we can stay connected.
Yeah, I know. I do. I love that.
Yeah.
Do. I mean, it's what time is this? Almost 11 o'clock at night, and it's like we're able to just show up and be here. And yeah,
Well, I love you.
I love it.
I
I
love
love it
y'all.
too.
And life is good. It's all about changing and loving it.
Yep.
I love you.
All
Have a
right.
good
I
night.
love you.
All right. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye. I gotta figure out how this works.
I'm leaving.
All right. Bye.